They stepped onto the stage as two quiet teenagers, full of hope and nerves, and left behind a legacy as one of Britain's most unforgettable musical duos. But what appeared as perfect harmony on Britain's Got Talent was just the surface of a story far more tangled and complex. Beneath the thunderous applause, lucrative record deals, and tearful performances, something subtle shifted, something the public never quite saw. What really unfolded between Jonathan and Charlotte after the cameras stopped rolling? Was it unbreakable loyalty or the strain of impossible limits? Was it the dazzling glow of fame or the harsh fallout that followed? As we peel back the layers, prepare to uncover twists and turns that stunned even their most devoted fans. From a judge's unexpected and blunt advice to the sudden silence that followed their initial success, the truth is richer and far more complicated than any headline ever revealed. This is a journey of revelations, reflections, and moments that may change forever how you remember this iconic pair. Because sometimes, the most unforgettable performances hide the biggest questions. Long before the spotlight of Britain's Got Talent or the glare of flashing cameras, Jonathan Antoine and Charlotte Giaconelli were just two musically gifted teenagers at West Hatch High School in Chigwell, Essex. Both loved to sing, but they had never collaborated, until fate, in the form of their music teacher Jeanette Brown, brought them together. She saw potential in each of them and decided to pair them for a school event unlike any other: her own wedding. It wasn't a contest, a competition, or a talent scout's invitation. Just a heartfelt request from a teacher who wanted her students to shine on a special day. At Brown's wedding, Jonathan and Charlotte performed The Prayer, a duet demanding not only technical skill, but deep emotional connection. Neither had ever considered the other as a duet partner before that moment. Yet, from the first notes, their voices blended in a way that surprised everyone, including themselves. Jonathan's rich operatic tenor and Charlotte's clear theatrical soprano intertwined perfectly, creating something unexpected and truly magical. Years later, Brown would recall that day as a turning point, a moment when she realized the significance of her choice and how it shaped the futures of both young singers. It was a simple, tender moment, but one that would set them on a path toward national fame. Inspired by that wedding performance, Jonathan and Charlotte began exploring their musical chemistry more seriously. Encouraged by teachers like Brown and vocal coach Jenny Ewington, they honed their craft together, building trust and a partnership that would serve them well when they auditioned for Britain's Got Talent in 2012. That school assignment, meant only to celebrate a teacher's wedding, laid the groundwork for something much bigger. A stage that would bring them both fame and unexpected challenges. Just as their harmony started to find its rhythm on the national stage, one startling comment nearly unraveled everything. Simon Cowell, known for his blunt and often ruthless critiques, stunned viewers with a controversial suggestion. He told Jonathan to consider leaving Charlotte behind and pursue a solo career. Cowell believed that Jonathan's powerful operatic voice outshined Charlotte's, implying she might hold him back. The bluntness of his advice shocked many, publicly dismissing Charlotte's vital role in their balanced, mesmerizing duet. Despite being only 17, Jonathan's response was immediate and resolute. He refused to abandon Charlotte on live television, showing an unwavering loyalty that instantly captured public admiration. Instead of splitting up, they pressed forward together, proving week after week that their partnership was as emotionally strong as it was artistically brilliant. Their deep mutual respect and genuine friendship made Cowell's comments feel not only harsh, but utterly misplaced. Behind the scenes, the story was even more nuanced. Jonathan would later reveal that the harsh Cowell seen on camera was just a part of a more caring, supportive man he knew off stage. Someone who truly believed in them both. The duo's bond went beyond music, too. Rumors swirling around a possible romance between Jonathan and Charlotte made Jonathan uncomfortable. He dismissed those whispers as creepy, explaining that their relationship was always professional, and brother-sister-like. This moment on Britain's Got Talent wasn't just about music or public perception. It was a defining stand for loyalty, trust, and authenticity, in an industry that often lacks all three. When Jonathan and Charlotte entered Britain's Got Talent as teenagers, Jonathan at 17, Charlotte at 16, their debut blew away expectations. Their rendition of The Prayer stunned the judges and audience alike, with Alicia Dixon calling it world-class and David Walliams praising the unique blend of Jonathan's operatic depth and Charlotte's pop-tinged clarity. It wasn't just their vocal talent that moved people. It was the emotional weight they carried together that made their journey so memorable. Despite Simon Cowell's initial call for Jonathan to go solo, the duo remained steadfast. Their loyalty paid off in the semifinals when their performance of Caruso earned praise from Amanda Holden, and even prompted Cowell to admit they made the best decision by staying together. That night, the public voted them through to the finals, a clear sign that their partnership had captured the hearts of millions. Their final performance circled back to The Prayer, symbolizing their journey and growth as artists and as friends. The chemistry was undeniable, voices polished, and their connection undeniable. David Walliams called it sensational, and even the skeptical Cowell declared it unbelievable. Though they finished second behind Ashley and Pudsey, many felt Jonathan and Charlotte had truly won the hearts of viewers. Their story wasn't about trophies or titles. It was about resilience, friendship, and defying the odds in an unforgiving industry. They had come in as unknown teenagers facing doubts and left as one of the most respected acts Britain's Got Talent had ever seen. Their courage to stand together against criticism, to rise above rumors and harsh judgments, was their true victory. While Perhaps Love preserved the duo's signature harmonies, it also marked a new chapter where both artists began to shine individually, signaling a growing confidence in their unique musical identities. The album soared to number 5 on the UK Albums Chart, firmly establishing them as credible recording artists beyond the fleeting fame of television talent shows. What truly set their music apart was its ability to transcend genres and social boundaries. Jonathan's powerful operatic voice melded effortlessly with Charlotte's clear, theatrical tone, creating a crossover sound that was both accessible and intricately crafted. Their albums didn't just rake in sales. They brought a fresh, modern emotional perspective to classical-infused music, shining a spotlight on a style often considered niche. What had started as a teenage partnership from Essex blossomed into a professional career that earned both critical acclaim and commercial success, a dream neither had dared imagine just a year prior. By 2014, after releasing 2 chart-topping albums, Jonathan Antoine and Charlotte Giaconelli faced an unexpected turning point. Despite their fame from Britain's Got Talent and the strong sales of their albums Together and Perhaps Love, their artistic directions were beginning to drift apart. When Sony Classical approached them about a third album, it quickly became clear that their visions no longer matched. In an interview with the Evening Standard, Charlotte reflected on those tense discussions. "We went through the list of potential songs and couldn't find even one that we both agreed on," she said. That moment laid bare a stark reality. The duo's creative ambitions were pulling them in separate directions. This split was not born of personal conflict but of natural growth. Jonathan, drawn deeply to classical opera, was committed to continuing down that path. Charlotte, meanwhile, felt herself gravitating toward musical theater and contemporary vocal styles. Sony's suggestion that they each pursue solo projects wasn't just a business decision. It was a necessary evolution. At first, Charlotte admitted it felt like a spanner in the works, yet it soon became clear this was the only way for both artists to truly explore their passions. The decision wasn't a rejection, but rather a mature acknowledgement that their partnership had run its course creatively. The month following this revelation was emotionally charged. Charlotte described the time as emotional, underscoring how much they had been through together. From wide-eyed teenagers auditioning for a TV show to national stars. They weren't just bandmates. They had been each other's anchors throughout a whirlwind journey. Even though they wouldn't be making music side by side anymore, the bond they shared would remain. Walking away meant stepping out of the comfort zone they had built since their first audition. But they parted ways with mutual respect and gratitude for the journey that shaped them. Charlotte candidly spoke about the anxiety of going solo, describing it as scarier than sad. It was the beginning of a new chapter, one where she would navigate the spotlight alone, without the familiar presence of Jonathan, who had been her professional partner for so long. Her feelings capture a universal truth for artists who leave a successful collaboration to forge individual paths. There's a mixture of fear and excitement about what lies ahead. Yet in the end, both agreed it was the right move. Their separation was less about conflict and more about growth, much like the natural process of growing up and finding one's own voice. Even with such an amicable split, questions lingered, especially as time, distance, and fame inevitably reshaped their connection. The reality of their new lives became clearer over time. By 2017, when Jonathan appeared on ITV's Lorraine and was asked about their relationship, his response was refreshingly honest. "We don't really get to speak very often, but that's the nature of it." There was no bitterness, just the practical truth of busy careers pulling people apart. Jonathan explained that his demanding schedule and extensive travel made regular communication difficult, even with those closest to him. "My family comes everywhere with me and they're my longevity," he said, revealing how his personal support system had evolved as he adapted to the demands of a solo career. For fans hoping their on-stage chemistry translated to an unbreakable off-stage bond, the news was bittersweet, but realistic. In the fast-paced entertainment world, maintaining close relationships is a challenge few manage without compromise. Despite their distance, neither Jonathan nor Charlotte has spoken ill of the other. On the contrary, both continue to express deep respect and appreciation for what they achieved together. Charlotte has credited Jonathan for being indispensable during their rise, acknowledging that neither would have reached those heights alone. Jonathan has fondly recalled the magic they created and the future they once envisioned as a duo. The limited communication between them seems more a reflection of diverging careers than personal discord, a rare and commendable situation in the often turbulent music industry. Following their split, Jonathan carved out a successful solo career firmly rooted in classical crossover. His debut solo album, Tenore, released in 2014, quickly topped the UK Classical Artist Albums chart. Featuring a carefully selected mix of operatic arias and classical pieces, the album proved that Jonathan could command the stage alone with grace and power. The critical acclaim and commercial success reaffirmed his place as a serious classical talent. He followed this with Believe in 2016, an album blending stirring Italian arias with lush orchestral arrangements, further expanding his reach and solidifying his international reputation. Jonathan didn't just stick to traditional classical repertoire. His tours spanned the UK, Canada, and the US, with highlights like Beyond the Curtain, a three-part show blending opera with musical theater and Disney favorites, revealing a playful and theatrical side to his performances. Collaborations with legendary songwriters like Diane Warren on projects such as By Request, the Diane Warren Songbook, Volume 1, showcased his ability to cross genres while maintaining his classical roots. Meanwhile, Charlotte embraced her passion for musical theater with gusto. Before Britain's Got Talent, she had trained at the arts educational schools in London, laying a strong foundation for her stage career. Post-split, she quickly made a name for herself in theater circles, performing in acclaimed shows like Carousel in concert at the Royal Festival Hall. Her blend of classical technique and theatrical flair earned her praise. Her role as Martha Dunstock in the original UK West End cast of Heathers the Musical highlighted not only her vocal talents, but her dramatic depth. Further roles, such as Florinda in Into the Woods at the Theatre Royal Bath, revealed her versatility and growing maturity as a performer, embracing darker and more complex characters. More than a decade has passed since Jonathan Antoine and Charlotte Giaconelli first captured hearts on Britain's Got Talent, yet their individual stories continue to fascinate and inspire. Charlotte, though sometimes overlooked by the traditional classical music critics, has built a devoted fan base through her sincere performances and vibrant presence on social media. Her work in musical theater, notably with the Royal Shakespeare Company, highlights her gift for storytelling and emotional depth, setting her apart as a dynamic performer. While Jonathan's path led him to become a soloist celebrated for filling grand concert halls with his voice, Charlotte embraced roles that emphasized drama and immediacy, showcasing her unique narrative power. This divergence in style illustrates how both have successfully carved out their own niches, each playing to their strengths and passions. In 2022, Charlotte made a bold and heartfelt announcement that resonated far beyond the stage. She publicly embraced her bisexual identity during Pride Month with a striking Instagram post, wrapped in a pride flag. This courageous revelation wasn't just a personal milestone. It was a powerful act of solidarity with the LGBTQ+ community within the arts. Charlotte's openness brought her closer to fans who admired not only her talent, but her authenticity and bravery. Her journey from a young talent on Britain's Got Talent to an empowered advocate for mental health and self-acceptance shows her evolution into a multifaceted figure. She speaks openly about the mental health challenges performers face, using her platform to encourage conversations about well-being in the high-pressure world of live theater. Her social media presence blends wit, honesty, and glimpses behind the scenes, deepening her connection with audiences and inspiring a new generation of theater lovers. Jonathan's transformation has been equally compelling, but in a different way. Known initially as a shy, operatic teen, Jonathan revealed a remarkable personal journey marked by significant weight loss, over 70 pounds, achieved through steady lifestyle changes aimed at improving his health, rather than conforming to any external expectation. His candid reflections about the struggles and setbacks he faced highlight his resilience. "For a long time, I was just experiencing life, letting life live me," he admitted. But his decision to take active control of his health and happiness became a turning point. This journey from vulnerability to strength has resonated deeply with fans, who admire his honesty and determination. Beyond the physical changes, Jonathan's musical career has flourished as he continues to push boundaries in classical crossover music, balancing his soaring vocals with a grounded, humble spirit. The bond between Jonathan and Charlotte, once inseparable, now exists as mutual respect and admiration for each other's growth. Their shared history still sparks hope among fans for a possible reunion, though no official plans have been announced. Both artists have remained open to collaborating again, keeping alive the magic that made their performances unforgettable. Meanwhile, they continue to succeed independently. Charlotte's theater career thrives as she takes on emotionally rich roles, while Jonathan captivates audiences worldwide with his solo albums and concerts. Their journeys underscore the power of reinvention, courage, and authenticity in an industry that often demands conformity. The chapter that began with two hopeful teens harmonizing on a small stage is far from closed. It's an ongoing story of reinvention, courage, and hope that resonates with anyone chasing their dreams. So there you have it, the incredible journeys of Jonathan Antoine and Charlotte Giaconelli. From their breathtaking debut on Britain's Got Talent to their very different, yet equally inspiring paths today. Charlotte's fearless embrace of her identity and her bold advocacy for mental health show us that being true to yourself is the real star power. When passion meets perseverance. If you love diving deep into their worlds, Don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment sharing your favorite moment or song, and subscribe for more stories that peel back the curtain on your favorite celebrities. Got a suggestion for who we should spotlight next? Let us know below. And hey, stick around. We've got some jaw-dropping celebrity reveals and behind-the-scenes stories coming up that you won't want to miss. After all, in the world of stars, the spotlight never fades. It just finds new ways to shine. Remember, whether on stage or in life, it's not just about hitting the high notes, it's about making your story unforgettable. Catch you in the next video.